more government intervention means fewer wealthy Americans, and that means a lot more people maybe needing help, right, Katie?
Absolutely. Look, this is insanity. People who put money into their 401ks do it so they can get away from the government. They do it because they know that Social Security, which is something that was set up by the government to help manage people's money, to help people in retirement, they know that Social Security is not going to be there. So what do? They put this into their 401k, and now the government's saying, well, look at all of this money over here. Maybe we can use it to our advantage. But the fact is that they shouldn't be touching it because, like you just mentioned, anytime they touch something private, it turns into a complete disaster. And this will give the government the ability to borrow more, which means spend more money, which is the last thing they should be doing.
All right, Katie, a couple of issues for me. It sounds like they want to manage it the way they've managed or mismanaged the Social Security Trust Fund.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, that's exactly what the government does. So the Social Security system was set up, as everyone knows, to pay for your, some of your retirement when you get older. But the fact is that that's been a slush fund for other programs. The whole lockbox notion has never worked, and now that money's not going to be there. And so they're looking at the 401k as essentially doing the same thing. And let's not forget, this isn't the first time the government's been eyeing the 401k system. Just a year ago, they looked at it in terms of maybe getting rid of some tax incentives that were good for people that encouraged people to save. But in the long run, this is only going to create more problems because people put money in a 401k to be private, to make sure that they're okay and away from government and dependent on the government when they retire. But this will only, if the government touches it, allow them to be more dependent on the government, which we just can't afford.
Well, Katie, I'm never one to shy away from a good conspiracy theory. So what if we say that they've made it very, they've enticed you to put money into the 401k. They've given you tax breaks. Mm-hmm. They've made it very nice for you to put your savings into 401k. So this pool gets bigger and bigger, and as Lori Rothman just pointed out, $19 trillion. So this big pool gets bigger, and maybe they do want to manage it. Maybe they want to get their grimy little hands on it.
Oh, of course they do. I mean, what does the government not want to get their taxation, their money hands on? I mean, the government needs money. This is a place where they have money, where private citizens have taken the time, unlike Washington, D.C., to make a budget to put aside that money into a private retirement account. And now the government is saying, hey, look, there's all this money over here. We're in a crisis where we don't want to cut spending. We don't want to deal with the entitlement crisis, which is actually driving the problem and the reason why people actually put money into their 401k in the first place. And of course the government's interested in this. They never saw a dollar they didn't want to take advantage of.
Katie, I got about half a minute or so. You want to comment on the fact that President Obama missed yet another budget deadline today?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's above the law in this aspect. Harry Reid is right there with him. And, I think it's funny how the Republicans always get a lot of heat for not having any ideas, but they're the ones who are actually following the law. So President Obama's busy campaigning for his pro-gun control. Meanwhile, they're without a budget for, 1,400 days now on Capitol Hill? So we'll see where it goes.
All right, Katie Pavlich, thank you very much.
Thanks.